Genius Kids. Cultivating love for learning.
Lesson 2. India in the 18th century. Knowledge acquisition. For thousands of years, India had witnessed big empires and kingdoms. The medieval period in history began with the Muslim invasion, Turkish conquests under Mahmud of Ghaznavi and Muhammad Ghori. These invasions gave way to many famous dynasties that ruled in India, such as the Slave dynasty, the Khiljis, the Tughlaqs, the Sayyids, the Lodhi dynasty, and finally the Mughals. In the 16th century, Babur, said to be a descendant of Genghis Khan as well as Timur the Lame, invaded India. Fed up with continuous battle with Kabul, he was lured to India by Daulat Khan Lodhi, a disgruntled of Ibrahim Lodhi. Crossing the Khyber Pass, Jahiruddin Muhammad Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodhi in the First Battle of Panipat in 1526. He laid the foundation of the Great Mughal Empire, which lasted for 200 years and rose to its zenith during the reigns of Akbar, Jahangir and Shah Jahan. Disintegration of the Mughal Empire. The Mughal Empire started to decline during the last phase of Aurangzeb's reign. His prolonged absence from the capital was a major reason for the disintegration of the Mughal political structure. While he was busy capturing the Jagris of the Deccan, his Jagirdars in the north were unable to collect their dues from the villages. Many of Aurangzeb's orders were not implemented in his absence because his nobles overlooked them. The local nobles of the regions who experienced economic growth in the 17th century felt increasingly confident of standing on their own. The abundant commissioning of mansabdars made them very strong. In the beginning, Aurangzeb introduced many administrative changes and moral reforms. Subsequently, he enforced many religious laws and suppressed many ill practices. Overall, one can conclude that his policy was a gradual departure from Akbar's policy of tolerance and coexistence. This resulted in the revolts of the Jats, the Satnamis, the Sikhs, the Rajputs, etc. Political condition of India. The Mughal Empire, famous for uniting the entire country by means of an efficient administration, reached at peak during the era of the Great Mughals and declined in 1707 with Aurangzeb's death. The first 6 Mughal emperors ruled for almost 200 years, whereas the 58 years following Aurangzeb's death witnessed 8 emperors, 4 of whom were murdered and 1 deposed. This chaotic situation had a disastrous effect on the Mughal Empire. The new rulers lost their credibility and there were many revolts against the administration. The country soon broke up into smaller estates ruled by petty nawabs, feudal overlords who had risen to prominence in the vacuum left by the crumbling imperial edifice. The successors of Aurangzeb, known as the later Mughals, were mere puppets in the hands of their nobles. These nobles aligned themselves into many factions on the basis of their separate origins. The result of such factions being formed was that each group with each other for supremacy, while consolidating its own power. Gradually, several provinces seceded from the empire. Chin Kilij Khan founded the state of Hyderabad in the Deccan in 1724, in the east, the Ghana Murshid Bengal and Orissa. In the center of the empire, the Ghana of Awadh and Punjab became practically independent. Meanwhile, the Marathas also started their northward expansion, capturing Malwa, Gujarat and Bundelkhand. Invasion of Nadir Shah. Nadir Shah's original name was Nadir Quli. In 1736, after the death of the last Persian, Sultan Nadir became the ruler of Persia and assumed the title Shah. To expand his territory, He conquered Kandhar before shifting his attention to India. He defeated the Mughal army in the Battle of Karnal in February 1739. Muhammad Shah was taken to prison and Delhi came under the control of Nadir Shah. He plundered Delhi's enormous wealth. The Persian troops left Delhi in May 1739 with wealth then worth rupees 70 crores, the fabulous Kohinoor diamond and the priceless peacock throne, which thereafter served as a symbol of Persian might. This left the empire open to the threat of invasions from the northwest. In the meantime, the Marathas had emerged as the prominent power in the country. Nadir Shah's invasion made the Mughal Empire weak and an easy target for further invasions. The later Mughals, Bahadur Shah I, 1707–12, Jahandar Shah, 1712–13, Farrukhsiyar, 1713–19, Muhammad Shah, 1720–48, Nahmad Shah, 1748–54, Alamgir II, 1754–59, Shah Alam II, 1759–1806, Akbar II, 1806–1837, Bahadur Shah Zafar II, 1837–57. Expansion and decline of Maratha power. Shivaji founded the Maratha kingdom in the time of Aurangzeb. Chhatrapati Shivaji is known as the founder of the Maratha Empire. Under his leadership, the Marathas carved out their own kingdoms in 1646. Before that, Marathas chieftains were in the service of Bijapur Sultans in the western Deccan. Aurangzeb, the last great conquerors of the Mughal period, defeated the Marathas and annexed their territories. By 1673, Shivaji had controlled the most of western Maharashtra. In 1674, he assumed the title Chhatrapati. He died in 1680, but not before establishing a vast Maratha empire. He had also developed an efficient administration and a powerful army known for its unique brand of strike and retreat warfare, which we today call guerrilla warfare. However, the Shivaji's death, family conflict and lack of good leadership compelled the Peshwas of the Maratha Empire to take control of the power of the state. The Peshwas ruled from 1712 to 1818. The Third Battle of Panipat was fought between the Marathas and Afghans under Ahmad Shah Abdali. The Marathas lost the war and it greatly weakened the power of the Peshwa. Causes of Maratha failure. The main causes behind the defeat of the Marathas in the Third Battle of Panipat were 1. The faulty strategy of war adopted by Marathas, and 2. The lack of solidarity among the Indian rulers. In contrast, Ahmad Shah Abdali received the support of the treacherous Indian rulers and nobles who were united in their opposition to the Marathas. This battle proved disastrous for the Marathas as they not only suffered huge losses of men and money, their morale also suffered badly. The Maratha defeat at Panipat ultimately led to the disintegration of their once proud empire. Rise of independent states. Soon after the decline of the central authority of Delhi, the provinces of Awadh, Bengal and Mysore also came into existence as a result of revolts of their governors. Awadh, Sadat Khan was appointed the governor of Awadh in 1722. He was a capable soldier and able ruler. He was succeeded by his son-in-law Safdarjung, who was efficient administrator. He became the Nawab of Awadh in 1739. Because of his valuable assistance and support, he became a close associate of Muhammad Shah, who later made him the governor of Kashmir. During his last years of rule, Safdarjung gained complete control of the administrative machinery of the Mughal Empire. However, court politics prevented him from taking full control, and he was dismissed in 1753. He returned to Awadh and died in 1754. His son, Shuja-ud-Dawla, succeeded him. Shuja-ud-Dawla's rule witnessed significant political changes. He died in 1775 and was succeeded by his son Asaf-ud-Dawla. Bengal. At Aurangzeb's death, Murshid Quli Khan was in charge of the province of Bengal. In 1717, Emperor Farrukhsiyar made him the governor of Bengal. This was just a face-saving device because Murshid Quli Khan behaved as an independent ruler and owed only nominal allegiance to the Mughal emperor. Under him, the province flourished. He helped and promoted the growth of trade and succeeded in bringing prosperity to the region. After his death 1727, he was succeeded by his son-in-law Shuja-ud-Din Muhammad Khan, who improved the administration and restored the state of its finances. But due to his vices, power slipped into the hands of his advisors, Haji Dhamad, Alam Chand and Jagat Seth. Shuja-ud-Din died in 1739. His son Sarfaraz Khan became the next ruler, but he also neglected the administration. Finally, the brother of Haji Dhamad, Ali Vardi Khan, the deputy governor of Bengal, captured the seat of Bengal in 1740. Sarfaraz Khan was defeated and killed in the battle. Ali Vardi Khan was an able administrator. He died in 1756 and was succeeded by his grandson Siraj-ud-Dawla. Siraj-ud-Dawla started suppressing his enemies after coming to the power. He ruled for little over 1 year, and in that period he had to deal with enemies from within the family as well as from outside. Hyderabad. The independent state of Hyderabad in the Deccan was founded by Chin Kilij Khan, who was made governor of the 6 states of the Deccan by the Emperor Farrukhsiyar. Later he occupied Hyderabad in 1725. He faced his greatest challenge from the Marathas under the leadership of Peshwa Baji Rao I. The Marathas were determined to collect the taxes they called Chaut and Sardeshmukhi from the 6 states of Deccan, but the Nizam, Chin Kilij Khan was popular by this name, refused to pay them. He tried to divide the Marathas and fought 2 wars with them. Chin Kilij Khan died in 1748. He was considered to be the most capable ruler of the Deccan. He founded the Asaf Jahi dynasty in Deccan. After his death, confusion prevailed in the region, which was followed by the usual struggle for the throne. By this time, foreign powers like the British and the French were extending their influence ever wider. The interference of the Marathas in the Deccan politics and the rise of Mysore under Hyder Ali created further troubles for the rulers of Hyderabad. After several wars of succession, Nizam Ali, the 4th son of the first Nizam, ascended the throne in 1763, 15 years after his father's death. He ruled for almost 40 years and protected the Deccan from the attacks of the Marathas and Tipu Sultan of Mysore. Mysore was part of the Vijayanagar Empire. In the 18th century, it was ruled by Chikka Krishna Raj. But his 2 ministers, Nanjaraj and Devaraj, usurped power, reducing him to a mere puppet. Mysore got involved in a number of wars with neighboring states under Commander Hyder Ali. In 1761, after the death of Nanjaraj, he established his authority over the kingdom and became the Sultan. He proved to be a very capable ruler. He reorganized the Mysore army and trained it on European lines. Soon, Hyder Ali's powerful army made Mysore a force to be reckoned with. He expanded the territory of Mysore, but he had to contend with the Marathas and the Nizam while expanding his kingdom in Deccan. He was succeeded by his son Tipu Sultan. Tipu Sultan, 1782 to 1799, was a born fighter like his father. A visionary, he introduced many reforms to westernize his army and built a modern navy. He sent trade missions to many countries of West Asia and Europe. He introduced a uniform coinage system and a new calendar system. He undertook many reforms to improve the condition of the people and the development of the state. His economic measures helped Mysore to make great progress. He died while fighting the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War in 1799. Economic conditions. Agriculture was the main source of livelihood for the majority of the population, while land revenue was the main source of income of the state. In the absence of a uniform taxation system, the peasants were forced to pay heavy taxes. Even in natural calamity, they did not get any relief or clemency from the state. The methods of cultivation remained the same as they had been for centuries. Neither the state nor the peasants took any initiative to introduce agricultural innovations. In some states like Bengal and Awadh, progressive rulers introduced some measures to improve the condition of the peasantry. Trade and commerce. Trade was an important economic activity in the 18th century. European traders established trading outposts along the eastern and western coasts of India. The Bengal ruler granted the trading permit to the Danish East India Company at Serampore in exchange of 1,50,000 rupees, Taka, Paisa. The Indian rulers did nothing to discourage the French and English traders who formed the bulk of this community, since foreign trade yielded rich revenues to the state. Cotton textiles, spices, raw silk and opium were the main items of export. With the decline of the Mughal Empire, the centers of trade and industrial activity shifted to the new political centers. Meanwhile, the rural economy suffered due to frequent external interference. The advent of the British hastened this process and devastated the country's economy. Timeline: 1707 – Death of Aurangzeb. 1707 – Reign of Bahadur Shah I. 1712 – Death of Bahadur Shah I. 1720 – Muhammad Shah became emperor. 1724 – State of Hyderabad was founded. 1739 – Nadir Shah's invasion. 1747 – Death of Nadir Shah. 1748 – Nehmad Shah Abdali's first invasion. 1750 – Nehmad Shah Abdali's second invasion. 1753 – Nehmad Shah Abdali's third invasion. 1756 – Nehmad Shah Abdali's fourth invasion. 1759 – Nehmad Shah Abdali's fifth invasion. 1761 – Third Battle of Panipat. 1764 – Battle of Buxar. 1769 – First Mysore War. 1782–84 – Second Mysore War. 1782 – Death of Hyder Ali. 1790–92 – Third Mysore War. 1799 – Fourth Mysore War. Death of Tipu Sultan. Do you know? Muhammad Shah was a great patron of the arts, including musical, cultural and administrative developments. His pet name was Sada Rangila, ever joyous. Keywords: Mansabdar, a person who governed the region, collected taxes and maintained troops to place at the emperor's disposal when called for. Wazir, chief minister. Chaut, 1/4 of the land revenue collected by the Marathas from areas outside their dominions. Sardeshmukhi, a tax collected by the Marathas equal to 1/10 of the land revenue. Peshwa, prime minister in Maratha regimes. Let's revise. Continuous review. The Mughal Empire began to decline during the last phase of Aurangzeb's reign because of his prolonged absence from the capital. The successors of Aurangzeb are called the later Mughals. Chin Kilij Khan was the able Wazir and a famous general of Aurangzeb who founded the Deccan state of Hyderabad in 1724. Nadir Shah invaded India in 1739 during the reign of Muhammad Shah. The invasion shattered the prestige of the Mughal Empire. Maratha power under the Peshwas rose to prominence in the late 18th century. Murshid Quli Khan, the Diwan of Aurangzeb, made Bengal an independent state. Sadat Khan was appointed Governor of Awadh in 1722. Later, Awadh became a center of art and literature, and a new form of architecture based on the Mughal style developed there. Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan were famous enters of Mysore, who challenged the might of British. Foreign trade flourished in 18th century India. Agriculture remained backward and high rate of taxes overburdened the peasants.
Like, share and subscribe.